Well, Lightning Lane Premier Pass is barely even a month old, and there are already some major changes that Disney is making, I would say, to this controversial system that is basically Universal's Express Pass laid on top of Disney's current Lightning Lane single pass and multi-pass options. And we have a story here from WDWNT that talks about how Lightning Lane Premier Pass is now going to be available to guests staying at any Walt Disney World Resort hotel, as it was previously when it was introduced that you had to stay at a deluxe level resort to be able to purchase this. And we've also seen Disney World lower the cost of the Premier Pass at a couple of the theme parks, being Animal Kingdom and Epcot, in terms of lowering those about $20 per on those parks on certain dates. So we are seeing them make adjustments, but we also have seen it sell out for Magic Kingdom on Thanksgiving Day. So perhaps they're still trying to feel their way through this. So we're going to go through the story, talk about it, and give some thoughts here. So hi, I'm Jared with Capture the Magic. And again, breaking Lightning Lane Premier Pass now available to guests at any Walt Disney World hotel. It says the new Lightning Lane Premier Pass is now available to purchase for guests of any Walt Disney World Resort hotel. As previously, like we said, it was limited to deluxe resort hotels. It says the announcement says, beginning Friday, November 22nd, Walt Disney World will expand the Lightning Lane Premier Pass pilot to all Disney resort hotels. Guests staying at Disney Deluxe and Deluxe Villa, Moderate Value Resorts, and other select hotels will be eligible to purchase up to 7 days before the first day of the resort stay for their entire length of stay up to 14 days. This is the only update to the Lightning Lane Premier Pass at this time, and the pass continues to be offered in very limited quantities. So at this time, guests who are not staying at a Walt Disney World hotel cannot purchase the pass. And the Premier Pass pricing goes anywhere, if you look at Animal Kingdom, $119 up to $199 per day. Epcot is $149 to $249. Hollywood Studios is $249 up to $349. And Magic Kingdom is $329 all the way up to $449. So when it comes to the Premier Pass, I'm of two thoughts about it. I actually think that this style of pass works best if it's the only cut the line system. And I think perhaps Disney could move this way and eventually get rid of the multi-pass and single pass options and just have this as the only one. As in my opinion, I think this system works better because it doesn't impact standby lines as much, and it's just a simpler system to use, especially in an era when Disney World is just becoming more and more complicated, hard to figure out. This is a simplistic system that I think a lot more people would be drawn to. Now, at the current price points it's at, I think it's bonkers. So that's the other thing is, like, you look at Universal, and a lot of people talked about how Universal's was overpriced, but Universal's hasn't really changed pricing too much, as you can still get Universal's Express Pass option for starting at like $115 depending on how busy the crowds are that day. But you also can get it when you stay at their premium level hotels as well, which is a great perk at when you're staying at Universal. So when Disney introduced this, I've never liked the fact that it's layered on top of the current offerings, because again, that's just going to impact standby lines even more, and then potentially even the Lightning lanes there. It's also not unlimited, it's also per park. So you're paying, if you could potentially be paying $450 per person per day at Magic Kingdom just to be able to walk through the Lightning lanes here. And obviously this is geared toward a very high-end crowd that has lots of discretionary income. This is a crowd that Disney loves trying to figure out how much more money they can get these people to spend. But I always thought it was a weird thing that you had to stay at a deluxe level hotel just to be able to have the right to purchase this, as you're already spending, in many cases, a ludicrous amount of money to stay at one of these, deluxe level hotels, to then just try and shell out more money for a Premier Pass on top of your tickets to the theme park. Like, it's just, you're talking again about a group of people that would buy this that just, they're probably spending $10,000, $20,000 on a vacation here. They're just like, what's an extra little couple thousand here and a couple thousand there? But I also felt there was a segment of people that would potentially buy the Lightning Lane Premier Pass if, it was just available to everybody, because they may not want to splurge on a deluxe hotel, but they would rather splurge on, say, a Premier Pass. My guess on this, and it seems to me that perhaps, and obviously Disney's not going to come out and say this, but the sales of the Premier Pass have not been the best, because again, we've already seen them lower prices on some days on certain parks, which could mean either not enough people are buying it, or they were, the crowds are going to be lower than they were expecting on those dates. Either way, it's probably not something Disney likes on that end. But I also think that opening this up, it seems to me that you would not open this up to this larger pool of people if you were already selling these passes to that group of people. So my guess would be they're not selling a ton in this group, and so they're opening up to try and get more sales here. And I do think a lot of this is them just, again, you get in these, I think with Disney, this habit of like quarter by quarter having to show more increased sales, more revenue, more profit. This is just, in my opinion, unfortunately, another way to try and bolster the bottom line, to just bring up, show more revenue, or if they are expecting it, and they've talked about going into 2025, how they're expecting, moderation of demand, as they've said. So if the crowds are staying the same or even dipping a bit, and again, you have Epic Universe opening soon, so that's going to be something that's going to impact Disney World, you would then try and make up that difference by doing what they've been doing, which is charging more for things that, they've already raised the price on, or things that used to be free. And they've already said they're raising prices yet again, basically across the board on everything in 2025. You introduce this new, very, expensive Premier Pass option. I feel like it's just another way trying to bolster that bottom line. But like I said, I do think this type of system is a system that actually works the best for this type of thing if you're going to have a cut the line system. I do think this type works the best. And this system is one they almost went with before they went with Genie Plus, which, it used to be fast passes were included. They switched over to Genie Plus, and they went to Lightning Lane, which Lightning Lane is essentially Fast Pass Plus, but you're just paying for it now. But they almost went this method, but they decided against it at that time. But I'm not going to be surprised if down the road we do see this just become the main one that they use for their cut the line system. Now, if they did that, the question would be, would they change the pricing on this? I think most people are not going to get Premier Pass. Obviously, it's a very small group of people that are going to be buying a $450 cut the line pass when you're at Magic Kingdom on a busy day. But I think if they did do that, even if it was really expensive and not many people bought it, I think most people would be pretty happy because your standby lines would move much quicker. And I don't think you would have as much stress about a trip if you're not trying to constantly book a window for getting on, your Lightning Lanes. Like I do think it would simplify a Disney trip, and that is something I think Disney has needed for a while now, as it has just become more complicated as time has gone on. But as of now, you can now buy Lightning Lane Premier Pass if you would like, even if you're staying at Pop Century or the All-Star Resorts. If you would rather spend more of your money on a Premier Pass versus a hotel stay, which I can understand completely. There's a lot of people that if you're going on a trip, you're not going to take much downtime. You're just going to be in the parks a lot. There's a lot of people that perhaps would stay at, say, All-Star Resorts and then splurge on a Premier Pass to be able to get the most done in a theme park on a busy day. So it seems like Disney is trying to feel this out a bit more. I think we're going to continue to see more changes to this, as it is technically in a test phase. So don't be surprised if between now and even the end of the year, they tweak some things and probably see how sales go during, they're hoping a much busier time of year, typically around the holidays for Disney, than they've seen after a kind of slower summer. So if they make some major changes at the beginning of the year of this system, I think you probably have pretty good feedback that, they didn't sell as many as they would have liked during the holiday season, but we do know it has sold out of at least 1 or 2 days at Magic Kingdom during the Thanksgiving holiday time period. So they are selling some of these. We still don't know how many of these are out there that they're selling per day. I am curious about how this does impact the current the standby lines on a busy day. Do people that buy it, are they happy with getting it? Do they think it was a good value? All these things. There's a lot of questions about this. But speaking as someone who is never going to purchase this, I kind of look at this from a distance and just think like, I wonder if people think it's worth it or not. I still wonder at some level if we see this open up to just everybody, because again, if you have it open to everybody, that would give you the biggest pool of people that would, be able to purchase it, which I'm sure Disney is interested in that. But as of now, if you're staying on Disney property at any hotel on property, you can get the Lightning Lane Premier Pass on your trip. But, not much else to say about this other than if you are staying at any Disney resort hotel on your trip, you can purchase Lightning Lane Premier Pass if you would like to spend, someday upwards of $450 to be able to basically just get into a line without using your phone. So I guess that is open to you if you would like that. And if you do get it, and I am genuinely curious, if you have gotten it and you do get it, let us know in the comments what your experience was. Do you think it was worth it? Because I genuinely am curious what people think about it that have gotten it. Speaking as someone who, I'm not going to spend that money on a Premier Pass, I guess, unless I win the lottery, and there will be other signs, but I don't know if I would really spend even that point on a Premier Pass out of just principle in the matter. But I am curious that the people that do get it, what they think about it. They think it was worth it. How did it work? Like things like that. But either way, though, that is going to be it, though, for this video. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel, as we do lots of coverage here of Universal Studios, Epic Universe, Disney World, and pop culture. And let us know in the comments, what do you think about the changes that Disney has made to the Premier Pass? And is it something that you potentially would do on a Disney trip? And until next time, we will see you in the parks.